So, what other advancements in irrigation technology do you anticipate in the future?
So what we're doing with the blue mats, and we do this with other things too, and other people do it. It's that kind of that sort of holy grail of irrigation is all about plant demand irrigation. So using some sort of sensor to trigger irrigation events. And again, that's really happening with the blue mats. I would say that the place where the blue mat isn't as effective is in like large scale outdoor applications, because of some of the flow rates involved. Some of the materials involved are a little more prone to like UV degradation, or like they get chewed up by animals and things like that. Um, Anybody that's growing outdoors, we have strategies for coping with all of that if they're in containers. If you're in direct soil, like native soil applications, things like that, the blue mats aren't necessarily the best choice. So, I see just the evolution of sensors. There's like all kinds of different moisture sensors out there, whether they're the volumetric ones, or tensiometer based ones, or there's a third kind called solid matrix sensors, which are a type of tensiometers that are used in clay soils, like clay based soils, like you would use outside in a large scale field or something like that. I mean, some of the stuff I'm excited about is like completely not related to, um, that indoor industry that we've been talking about. It's more like we're in the regenerative ag space. We do. I design systems using a product called Kifco water reels. They're these large water guns that can water anywhere from like 1 to 60 acres at a time, and that's like it's a larger amount of space, right? In general, but it's not as large as like a center pivot irrigation piece. So, I mean, this is just a pet project of mine and I'm working on with some of the people in the regenerative ag community. But when you fly over the United States or anywhere and you see all the center pivots, so you look down at the field and you see these large circles, but then they have brown in the corners where they're not growing anything, because the center pivots are just like, that's what they are. They're a giant sprinkler that just like operates on a big boom arm and spins around in a circle, and that leaves these corners of the fields uncultivated. And yeah, something I'm just kind of getting kicked off and as like a side project on my own is irrigating those corners and putting those into regenerative agricultural practices that can be ecosystems and native habitats for pollinators and for plants and animals that will benefit the larger ecosystems and even the monocrops that are being grown there, for carbon sequestration, all these sort of like the benefits of regenerative ag. There's like just thousands and thousands of acres of land out there that's not being used because they can't hit them with those center pivots. So we're putting together some designs to irrigate the corners, the corners of the fields. Again, that's kind of outside of it, but that's something I'm excited about as a designer and someone that's like, passionate about regenerative ag in general. Yeah, and then in the controlled environment space, like, yeah, it's just the evolution of sensors. The drip irrigation companies that we work with, like Irritech, Rivulus, Netafim, those kind of companies, they're all producing some new technology in drip irrigation. A lot of it's not super innovative, but there's some new stuff that comes out periodically and they get better quality products. So kind of cool to see that come out. But yeah, I think like the sensors and the data that's produced, and a lot of that's now being integrated with like, cloud-based technology. So you'll have like Aerometer. We sell a lot of those. Like Aerometer makes a tensiometer. It's similar to the BlueMat digital moisture meter, but that you can connect it back to this hub that has a SIM card in it, and that shoots up data to a cloud, and you can go on your browser and see like real time. Well, it's not really real time. It's like every hour they give a data set, but you can see historical moisture data for a field, or you can put them indoors too and see that over time in your indoor grow. Yeah, just collecting more and more data and getting more sophisticated with the application of water and nutrients, so that we're never using too much and we're never overwatering or over fertilizing, to kind of create healthy soils and ecosystems.
This clip is brought to you by AC Infinity. Use discount code MrGrow at 15 to save on any of their products.